Welcome back to another game. This one is between Fear and Asta for game 3 of their best of 3 series for round 3 of CALLOUS Invitational. The score going into this game is 1-1, one apiece, obviously, seeing as it's the third game. Fear took the last game due to a PP stall war that he got the better of. I don't think Asta played anything wrong. I think he just didn't have the right tools with Celebi, just ran out of PP. And Kuhn, with the Modest Crow Kuhn set, was able to take the victory there. Modest Crow Kuhn showing why it's so dangerous. I think that the special attack investment on Fear's Kuhn was much of the reason why it was able to win that game. So yeah, that Modest Crow Kuhn invention of Asta is really showing its potential. So we're going to see the same matchup we saw, the same lead matchup we saw last game. Meta on Zap. Zap's going to reveal sub. Usually not a very good move on Zap in my opinion, because Blissey just breaks it. It's good versus Lax though, I suppose. But Asta reveals Rock Slide, maybe a CB set, misses though. Gonna use it again here. Does break the Zap sub. Zap's doing 40 with T-Bolt. Meta gonna slide again here, so a non-CB meta sliding down the Zap. That's very telling because it tells us that Asta hates Zapdos with this team, and he's willing to lose the 1v1 with it just to get it chipped. So perhaps he has a Gyarados or a Heracross or something that appreciates a low health Zapdos in the back. So Asta is not confident here that Fear just goes for another sub and decides to keep the Metagross in there, and it actually gets sacked because of it. Lax comes out now. And Fear's immediate switch in is Kuhn. Not sure about that one. Who wants to bet that the team is weak to Snorlax if he's bringing in Kuhn as a immediate switch in? Does get it does get +1 EQ'd here and crit for 53. Asta's best stab versus this seems to be EQ, so maybe it's Curse, EQ, Shadow Ball, Boom, not sure. Anyway, this Kuhn at +1 is doing a decent chunk, so probably got a decent amount of special attack investment. Asta does curse correctly here. The roll was not favorable there with Earthquake, so better off cursing. Let's see what this Kuhn goes for. It does go for a rest. And Asta presumably just going to curse, or just going to Earthquake into it again, yeah. 3 KOing now, so this Kuhn is going to need to be able to, start doing some big damage to the Lax. Sleep Dogs gets a rest. Asta maybe not 3 KOing here, actually, based on that damage. What does Fear do to chip this Lax down? Does go for another Sleep Dog and gets a Surf this time. That's what he wanted to see. It's doing 29, so this Lax is getting worn down, and I'd wager that it doesn't have rest. Not that it would use it anyway in this matchup. But now Kuhn wakes up, goes for the Surf. Lax is going to be forced to EQ. This is probably a roll here. Yeah, it is. Does 45 out of 46. Does not do enough, and he's actually going to lose this 1v1 to Kuhn if it kills here with Surf. Probably does. Surfs right into the Celebi, so that Lax gets preserved, but he's at 25, so probably somewhat out of action this game. Asta does just pick up the kill on Kuhn here with the Giga Drain. And Dougie does come out, so although Asta managed to preserve the Lax, he's actually going to lose the Celebi in the meantime, so that's probably not a worthwhile trade for him. Fear definitely benefiting from that, but Asta reveals that he does have the techs he needs here, and this is a normal Doug trio from Fear. So yeah, Asta brings in P2. Is that the... I don't know, he's had that Mon nearly every game so far. Is that the third time in a row he's brought P2? Asta clearly has a hard-on for P2 at the moment. Fear bringing a team that seems to be somewhat similar to the last one. Relatively weak Zapdos, Rest Talk, Kuhn. Doug trio set's different obviously. But the Breloom looks to be somewhat normal. So he did sleep sag P2, and actually gets rid of the Snorlax that he was preserving earlier. Fear stays in on the Gyara here and goes for Spore. What was that? Was that a misplay? How did he not know? Oh, I think they were saying this in the chat after the game. I'm not recording this live. I think they said that he misclicked. Yeah, he had, I believe this Loom has Stun Spore, and Fear accidentally clicked Spore instead of Stun Spore because he's using trackpad on his laptop, which is a bit glitchy, didn't allow him to press the right button. So this is a colossal misplay. If he had Stun Spored the Gera here, it looks like Asta has no good Zapdos Widgeons, so Fear could probably just, or Asta could probably just smash the rest of the team with Zapdos. So that's very unfortunate for Fear. Really, really rough one for him. I guess it's kind of his fault, I suppose, that he misplayed, but very unlucky with the trackpad there. Perhaps nerves as well played some factor in that. Now he's going to be forced to switch out the Zap. Asta does not know that the Loom is Stun Spore, so goes for another DD, and it looks as though, well, +2 Gera is very, very difficult to stop. Does have Double Edge, so probably an offensive set, maybe Double Edge, HP Fly, and EQ. Fear brings back in Breloom, probably looking for an Effect Spore power here. Effect Spore Sleep would activate Sleep Claws and would actually do nothing, so that was probably less than a whatever the normal chance to get Effect Spore is, 10% or whatever. Brings in Rachi here, who is not going to live at +2 EQ, and this game looks to be over. Yeah, Fear saying he misplayed by accident. Now goes Tar, who is named Zod, and Fear actually forfeits. He doesn't see a way past the Tar. Yeah. Mag definitely lost there for Asta. If Fear had Stun Spored the Gera, as he said he had Stun Spore, I mean, obviously it was only a 75% chance to hit, so if he missed, Asta still probably was in a great spot, but yeah, that's really rough for him. Because if he hit the Gera, he could just go Tar after he sacks maybe Loom, I don't know, or just go hard Rachi actually, but that's really rough for him. He was definitely going to win that one. He was definitely going to win that because he could just go Tar after and take out the Gyarados. And if the last is Mag, there's and P2's asleep, so there's nothing to stop this DD Lumtar from sweeping. I think it's DD Lumtar. He said that after the game. So without Fear's little misplay here, he would have actually taken this game. Unfortunately for him, he did misplay. He did get the unfortunate side effects of trackpads, and he's going to lose this one to Asta, resultantly. It's an unfortunate one for Fear, but he is going to leave CALLOUS Invitational because of that, and Asta is going to go ahead to round 4. So it's pretty colossal. One of the most noteworthy things that's happened in the tour so far. Anyway, hope this was enjoyable to you, and we'll see you again in the next one.